Item K, discuss and consider awarding the lowest bid to Rootsela Construction for the 16-inch water main transmission. Scott?
This is the portion of water main. It's out in the township. It goes out to the city well field. It starts at Slade Road. It goes about 6,000 feet to the north, give or take a little bit. And we did go up a bit. We do have a grant, a community development block grant, an ICE grant we're using for the bulk of this project, $500,000 with the grant funding. And then the balance we picked up to the city water fund, which there are dollars in there to pick up the difference. There were 6 bidders, and Rootsela Construction was the low bidder for this project. Yeah, we have Mike Foley here from Pullman Engineering, who was the project design engineer for the project. Anything to add?
No.
When will work commence?
The contract, Mr. Seymour, the contract dictates that they have to be done by October 1st. And they have 35 calendar days to perform that work, which means they can start anytime between the time they sign the contract, which would probably be here in another 10 days or so, and I believe it's August 26th would be that start date, so that they finish by October 1st. In conversations with Rootsela and probably some lead times associated with some of the equipment and parts for this project, I wouldn't anticipate them starting until the latter part of August, let's say.
With the completion of this project, we will have basically 2/3 of our transmission line redone.
Correct.
Which was one of our goals.
And we'll
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good project for the community to have a good solid line going in the future. And the other part just maybe to add to is we will have a public informational meeting regarding this project. We had one here when the project first started. I think it was last fall, where we invited all the landowners in out of the town hall, went over the project. We'll do the same thing with the contractor again, invite the landowners and public to come in and kind of walk through the process. Since a good portion of this line does go through easements through some of the people's backyards and through their properties. So.
I'll make a motion that we award the bid as described in item K.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, seconded by Commissioner Lamb, to award the bid to Rootsela for the water main transmission. Any further discussion? None. Roll call vote, please.
Lamb? Yes. Lucius?
Yes.
Sable?
Yes.
Corcoran? Yes. Bertram?
Yes. Item L, discuss and consider awards for bids for water and sewer lines for the Jezebel Murray Phase 1 and 2 project.
Just a little history on this. We have a big water and sewer project going forward, major construction, including water and sewer lines up in the Norrie Jezebel area. There's a few locations where, as an example, a water main may be at the rear of a house and we're relocated to the front of the property in the street, maybe in an alley. And in those situations, we have about a dozen, 13 properties where the water service line inside the house has to be adjusted to reflect that new location where the water is going to be coming in. So that's what this is. It's really interior plumbing in a handful of houses. I think we have, like I say, about 13 water lines and about, I think the number 5 sanitary sewer locations that need to be adjusted. And that's what this work would be for. And this is coming out of the city water and sewer funds. We do have money budgeted for this work. But it's part of that bigger project. And it'll be a separate project from Wagner. So it'll be strictly working with the city on this, working with Coleman. And they'll be coordinating with Wagner Construction on making these final connections in the houses. And we had one bidder, Angelo Lupino was the low bidder, and the only bidder at $43,160.50. And they are working with another plumbing contractor in the area that they're partnering with on this project.
And where would the money come from for this project?
This will be out of the water and sewer line.
I'll make a motion that we award the bid as described in item L.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, supported by Commissioner Corcoran. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Lucius?
Yes.
Seymour?
Yes.
Corcoran? Yes. Lamb? Yes. Bertram?
Yes. Item M, discuss and consider awards for bids for the locals, for the local street paving. Just
Just go over that in a little detail. I will say, Paul Lupino is in the audience here, so if you have any questions, contractor is here. And they'll be doing the project that was just awarded to. So we want to thank them for bidding the projects. This is the local street paving project. We have essentially about 5 blocks of a mill and overlay type of work that we're looking at doing. It's not a full reconstruct. It's similar to what we did last year and the year before, Northwood US 2. And again, we had 2 bidders, Angelo Lupino and Northwoods Paving, who bid on this work. The work essentially includes, like I say, 4 blocks of paving and then 1 block on Frenchtown Road where we'll be doing a pulverizing and paving. Since that section is a rural section, there's no curb and gutter, so it's a little different technique. The result is essentially the same. Also included in the bid are we call them street patches. It's where we had a water main break over the last few winters. We need to have a permanent asphalt patch put down. That's included in this project also. So it's a local street paving plus patching of those water ditches. You see the bids. Northwoods Paving came in with a higher bid at $256,387. Angelo Lupino, you'll see there was a correction on the bid tab. It showed $184,313. As we went through and calculated their costs, there was a discrepancy on line item 9,000, which is the street patches. And their bid reflected, well, maybe I'll turn this over to Paul, but I'll try to articulate it and let me know if I'm incorrect. Essentially, their bid reflected their calculation based on a square foot cost for that patch, and it should have been a square yard cost. So you take their number that they presented and multiply it by 9 is their cost per square yard. And if you did it by the cost per square foot, we'd be paving every road in Ironwood. It's very, it was a mistake that was made. And Paul is here to talk a little more about that if you'd like any more information on that. But even with that adjustment, they're still quite a bit lower than Northwoods Paving on their bid.
any questions for Scott or Paul?
How does this amount compare to what we had budgeted for local streets?
Yeah, it's right in line. We actually have 3 funding sources for this. We have the local streets. We're right around $100,000, which this reflects, I think, it's $107,000, so there are dollars in there for that. We have major street funds, which will be Frenchtown Road, that section, it goes out. And we have dollars budgeted in there. And then in the street patch section, in the water fund, we have dollars budgeted for the street patches. So we do have money earmarked and budgeted for this project, and we're within budget.
I will make a motion to approve the bid award for Angelo Lupino.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Lucius, second by Commissioner Corcoran, to award the bid to Angelo Lupino for the local street paving project. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Seymour?
Yes.
Corcoran? Yes.